For a detailed explanation of how I'm going to proceed on the Martin HD28 that I've been working on, stay tuned right after this. Hello my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Workshop. Today is Tuesday the 13th of September and we'll be playing this evening at Dickey's Barbecue in Rolla, Missouri. I think we had a couple celebrating their anniversary at last week's show and they came, I think, from somewhere up around Jeff City or Columbia or somewhere like that. Happy anniversary to that couple and I hope they'll come back sometime. And we hope that you'll join us if you can. Yesterday was a pretty good morning in the shop. I really did only work in the morning. I got that guitar, that Martin guitar set up for that fella. He seemed to be really happy because we were able to bring the action down. It was pretty high and we got it down within acceptable levels. We got it down to around 90 thousandths on the big E and around 75 thousandths on the little E, and very good action at the nut. So he seemed to be pretty happy with it. I also got caught up on all the orders from last week. Emery was back in the office yesterday, so she got me caught up. I think I still have one order to fill this morning, and I'll get that filled. So we should be caught up with things that were ordered last week, and I'm sorry that it took this long. Today I'll be working on this Martin HD28, which is the one that I've been working on. I got the new bridge plate in it already. It's a Paduke bridge plate and it worked out real good. I'm going to take this bridge off because it's broken all the way across here and it has been shaved down. Now I don't remember if I shaved it down. Probably I did about 15 years ago or so. And so we're going to put a new full height bridge on here. Let me turn the camera down. I'll show you just how it looks right now, even with this low bridge. Yeah, so even with the low bridge, with the straight edge on here, the straight edge is running into the bridge. By the best practice, this should be running above this bridge, and usually, 50 thousandths clearance, 40 thousandths clearance, somewhere in there, it ought to have some clearance. About a 1/16 of an inch or a little less. So it doesn't have any clearance. It's below there by nearly as much as it should clear it. So that's why this neck is going to have to be reset, because when we put a full-size bridge on here, this is going to even be way lower. My goal for today is to get this bridge off. Now I glued it on with either Tight Bond or another good wood glue, and I don't remember back then. It was before YouTube, but my guess is it was probably Tight Bond. So my hope is that when I heat this up, it's going to cooperate fully and come right off of there. If it doesn't, if it gives me any trouble at all, I think I may just set up a router deal and route this down to where it's almost, nothing or paper thin, and then just take my finger planes and clean up the area. I may do it that way if it gives me any trouble at all. I don't expect it to, but you never know. So you can see I have my work cut out for me today. Getting that bridge off of here is going to be a fun job. I'm just hoping it goes a little easier than the bridge plate itself. Now, again, I just want to re-emphasize the bridge plate itself came out in lots of pieces, but it came out fairly good. It really didn't do much damage to the inside top. Like I said, anytime you're taking something like that apart, you're not just unzipping it, you're breaking it, and that's the truth of it. You're separating it at the glue seam. That would be the nicest way to say it, but glue seams, if they're done well, don't separate easy. So it doesn't matter where that glue seam is. While I'm heating this up, or if this comes off easy, what I may do is also, while I've got the iron hot, heat this up and see if I can get this loose. Then I'll pull this fret and maybe even start injecting some moisture down in here and see if I get lucky and get this neck out of here without having to take the whole fretboard off. That would be awesome. Do I think I'll get that lucky? No, I don't think so. But you never know. It would be pretty awesome if that would happen. As I mentioned, the brush hog worked on my fix that I made on my brush hog for my Bobcat. Now that's the hydraulic brush hog that I built or I converted from an old brush hog. It was an old John Deere brush hog. I converted it to run on hydraulics and work off of the Bobcat. Well, the only problem with that is that, tractor brush hogs are a lot lighter weight than the heavy duty one you would buy from, Bobcat or somebody like that. But by putting that heavy duty fender skirt around the back of it, that seemed to work really well. And as I mentioned, I did cut quite a bit, and I don't even know how much I cut, but I cut a lot. And everything was going real well, and I almost decided to turn around and come back to the house, but I thought, well, I'm going to do one more thing. This was Sunday evening around 5 o'clock or so. So I did try that one more thing, and it was on a bank, and I ran one of the tracks off on the Bobcat. So the Bobcat's been sitting back there since Sunday evening, so I've got to go back there and clean all that up. Now, fortunately, the weeds are cut right where that happened, but that doesn't stop the ticks and chiggers too much. It may slow them down a little bit, but so I'm gonna have to spray down good and get back there and try to get the track back on the Bobcat. That's just one of the casualties of doing this kind of work. You're gonna run a track off eventually if you do this. Doesn't matter. And they're basically new tracks and new sprockets and everything. Anyway, stuff happens. I'm not gonna say it's not easy being me. I'm not gonna say it. We'll see you tomorrow. Wish me luck.